5 reasons why you should consider refinancing your home. You made it to the Living in New Smyrna Beach real estate channel. My name is Chris Schwartz. My business partner is Tim Loomis. We are the brokers, owners of White Whale Real Estate, located in, you guessed it, New Smyrna Beach. So we go over all things real estate, fun, and local happenings in the area. New Smyrna is about 20 minutes south of Daytona, 4 hours north of Miami, and an hour east of Orlando on the east coast of Florida. So today we want to go over reasons to refinance. We get asked all the time. We're not saying right now is a good time. We're also not saying it's a bad time. It's all really going to depend on you and your financial situation and the goals you're trying to achieve. So we want to go over 5 of our top reasons why we would consider refinancing and different things for you to look at. And let's get into it. So number 1, you guessed it, is going to be a lower interest rate. So we have been hearing over the past year and a half that interest rates are going to be lowering. Hold on, don't buy, wait for the interest rates to lower. You'll have a lower monthly payment. We don't know when it's going to happen. We don't have the crystal ball. As of right now, they look like they're holding pretty steadfast and are going to remain the same. So we say if you find a house that works for you, checks the boxes, and you can make it work financially, you marry the house, you date the rate, you refinance later. It's kind of the industry jargon right now is just buy now, refinance later. In regards to refinancing when interest rates do lower, so experts are saying that a 0.75 to 1% interest rate change in the good direction for you in the lower direction could be significant enough to consider refinancing. One of the big things you want to look out for though when you refinance is you wouldn't really pay attention to the break-even point on what those costs are going to be to refinance. So when you refinance your home, you are going to have to pay new loan closing costs. So these could, just rough number, let's say $3,600 is going to be the loan refinance cost to you. And if you had a monthly savings of $100 per month by lowering that interest rate, it would take you 36 months, so 3 years, to have that break-even point to make sense for you to make that refinance now. Now, if your monthly payment was a larger savings than $100, then obviously you'd hit that break-even point much sooner. But something to really consider, a lot of people just think, oh, monthly payment, I'll refinance, and they don't consider the long-term drawn-out effects of what that actually is impacting you for having those closing costs. So don't just jump right into it because you think it's a lower interest rate. Really map out and plan, are you going to be in the home long enough to recoup the actual closing costs and not just benefit from the monthly payment. Reason number 2 to consider refinancing, and I think this is a fantastic reason to consider refinancing, is if you have an improved credit score. So congratulations to you, you've been working hard. You were able to afford a house a couple years ago, but your credit wasn't that great. You were able to get an FHA loan or some other down payment assistance programs to help you get into a house. Now, because you were able to do that, but you had poor credit or not as great credit as you do now, you were paying a higher interest rate. This is a normal thing. The lower the interest, the lower the credit, the higher the interest rate is going to be. So as you've improved your credit worthiness, the banks see you as a better person to lend credit to, lend money to, so they're going to give you more favorable terms. So this is a great reason to really consider refinancing, and it could help you save a lot of money in the long term by getting those better rates. So again, you really always want to go back to the break-even point, see what the loan is going to cost you to get refinanced out, and how long you plan on staying in the house. If this is your forever home, or you plan on staying here for another 5 to 10 years, I definitely think that you would benefit greatly from refinancing as long as you do have that improved credit. And don't just jump right into it. If you've got a credit plan that you're on and you expect to be up another 50 to 75 points, I would wait till you complete that whole credit program until you get to that desired result, until you jump back in trying to refinance, and you can maybe squeeze a little bit extra basis points off here and there. All right, the third reason to consider would be for changing your financing type. So this would be, example would be going from a fixed rate mortgage to a adjustable rate mortgage, or vice versa. You've got an adjustable rate and then you want to switch over to a fixed rate. So at White Whale Real Estate, we always recommend for 9 out of the 10 people we talk with to go with a fixed rate mortgage. This sets in stone what your monthly payments are going to be, and you're not gambling on what interest rates and what the economy is going to do that could affect what your monthly payment is going to be. Now, there are certain times that we would recommend a adjustable rate mortgage, but these are going to be more for our sophisticated investor types. They've been doing a lot of investing, they've been doing it for a long time, and they're okay with handling that extra level of risk. So for the most part, we always recommend going fixed rate. But this is a reason that you could consider refinancing, getting into a different type of mortgage product. The most common type of refinance is going to be a rate and term refinance. So your rate, obviously, if you had a 7% interest rate and interest rates dropped to, let's say, 5%, then you'd refinance and get the better rate there. And then the term would be if you had, say, a 30-year mortgage taken out, you could reduce that down to a 15-year mortgage. So those are the most common refinance types, is going to be the rate and the term. So you've got a lower percentage rate, or you want to go from a 30 to a 15, which will be more aggressive on getting your loan paid off. Or if you were at 15 and you wanted to stretch it to 30, you'd feel a little bit relaxation on those intense, more aggressive monthly payments. All right, reason number 4 is going to be to do a cash out refinance. So your cash out refinance, this is going to be where you're going to take out equity of your home. The bank is going to give you actual cash that would go in your bank account. They're usually only going to give you 70 to 80% of the total equity that you have built up in the home. So you're not going to be able to take out the cash for the entire value of the home, just 70 to 80% of the equity that is there. So if you had $100,000 in equity, the bank would be probably willing to refinance out cash for you $70,000 to $80,000. They're not going to give you that whole amount of equity. Now some banks will. This is again just a generalization for you guys to get some ideas of options for yourself out there. The reason why people do this is to do different home remodels. You want to add a bedroom, you want to put a pool in. Other reasons are some people will do it to pay off other high interest credit cards or to pay off vehicles. Different financial or strategic moves is really the most common reason we see people do this cash out refinance. Definitely be careful with this one, especially if you are trying to remodel your house to then hopefully sell it in the future for a big profit. If that's what you're thinking, really consider what you're doing. We see a lot of people put in pools and pools do not pull in that same value that you think they would. So if you're spending 100 grand on your home, or excuse me, on your pool, expecting to get 100,000+ back out, probably going to be disappointed. So make sure you talk with your local real estate professional in the area. This is going to vary area to area, but here in the East Coast of Florida, we're seeing people not getting that same value back. Make sure you talk with your professional, make sure that you have the best plan set for yourself. Just because you do something renovation-wise doesn't mean you're going to get paid for it. So be careful with this one. All right, and last but not least, number 5 is going to be to shorten the loan term. So we briefly talked about this on reason number 3, but it is worth mentioning again because of how powerful this can be. If you are set up in a financial spot where you're really wanting to be aggressive with your loan, get it paid off a lot earlier, you can readjust your term and get it dropped down to a 15-year mortgage. Now, likely what will happen is your payments will probably double because you're cutting in half the repayment structure of that entire loan from 30 years to 15. So if your rough numbers here again, if your monthly mortgage payment is $2,000 a month and you drop it down to a 15-year term, you're probably going to have about a $4,000 a month monthly mortgage. Now, again, interest rates are going to affect this, your credit worthiness will affect this, but the overall goal here is to get your loan paid off much sooner, and this is going to save you an incredible amount of money in the long term because you're not paying all that extra money in interest. So essentially, another way you could look at it is you're cutting off 15 years of interest that you would be paying. So it's a significant amount of money that you will be saving over the long term. Again, this is if you have the ability to handle it. A lot of people just stick with the 30 years because the monthly mortgage payment is much more easily managed than having that aggressive 15-year schedule. So something to really consider. A lot of people start out with the 30, you get making a little bit better money. Maybe you inherited some money and you don't want to put it all on just cashing out, but you want to get a little more aggressive on getting that loan paid off. So those could be really great reasons to do it, and you'll have your home free and clear much quicker. So we hope this helped. A lot of different ways to skin the cat here on this one with refinancing and getting in and out of different real estate opportunities. So let us know what you think. Let us know what you're doing as far as your refinancing. We'd love to hear how it's going with you or other opportunities that you have out there. Let us know what videos you'd like to see in the future. We hope you guys have a great week, and we will see you soon.